I should, or from the library. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Improv Show. I know my shit's fucking up. I can see it. But anyways, welcome back to another episode of the Better Half Show. As always, I'm Brittany, joined by Asia and Brittany. What's good? How y'all feeling?
Good.
I'm okay.
Yeah, this is when I catch up. That's what's up. Anyways, we didn't have a show this past weekend. But I do know that Asia and I hosted the WrestleMania watch party, which was a lot of fun. Royal Rumble watch party, which was a lot of fun. And we got to team up with HNIC and do some like cross network words. We got to do some cross network things, which was awesome. So I think, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys got a chance to check it out. If you didn't, you should check that out. But today's episode is about cheating. And this episode was inspired not only by real life, because I feel like everyone has gone through some version of it, whether you've been cheated on or you've done cheating. I mean, we hear about celebrities breaking up all the time based off of it and all types of shit. But two specific TikTok videos that we've come across kind of inspired us doing this episode today. So I'm going to start off with the first one now.
Let's say we were together. Would you tolerate cheating from me?
Of course. I would.
Now, why is that?
Because men biologically cheat. Because you can go sleep with a girl right now and it's just pleasure. For example, we're surrounded right now by a shit ton of amazing clubs. You can walk into the club right now, get super drunk, and just have a one-night stand. But you're still coming home to me, sleeping with me, providing for me, and doing everything you're supposed to. It's just biologically made that men are going to go ahead and cheat because it's just pleasure. You know what I mean? It's status, basically, when men cheat.
But when women cheat,
it's disrespect, because when we cheat, it's a connection. Like, we cheat with intention, we cheat with emotions. You guys don't cheat with emotions, we do. So I don't think a man should stay with a woman that cheats on her.
now why wouldn't you feel insecure by finding out that I, was blowing another chick's back out?
As women, you're meant to be feminine and protective of the home and stay with your partner and take care of the kids. So if you're providing for me and doing everything you're supposed to, I would definitely tolerate cheating. But if it's a 50-50 relationship, it's like, I'm your roommate. Why are you like making me downfall? Like, that's not cool.
Asia had all the faces.
I don't know what kind of white people shit she was talking about, but no, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So you want to start, Asia?
I don't agree with any. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't agree with anything she said, but most of the shit that came out of her mouth, absolutely disrespectful. Because
Like
yes,
women
women do.
mostly.
Like yes, when women cheat, they cheat with emotion.
Yeah,
I disagree.
I disagree.
Okay, wait. I think it depends on this. I think it depends on the circumstance and the relationship you're in.
Okay.
Because if you're not getting the emotion at home, you're gonna go give that emotion to somebody else and then do what you need to do with them. Then take that emotion right back home and be like, oh, but I did this, and they're not gonna give a fuck.
I think that's both people. I think that when whatever's missing in your relationship, period, you will find it in somebody else. So to say that men don't cheat emotionally would be false. To say that women only cheat with emotions would be false. I do believe that we all have emotions. They're not just what they want to say for women, which is all lovey-dovey emotions. We're doing it either out of anger, you're doing it out of lack of love, so you're trying to love somebody else. But she was stupid because I'm not gonna tolerate the shit.
So you're gonna go sleep with somebody else and then come home and sleep with me? You better fucking not.
Right. I'm not, my pH ain't getting ready to be off because of you. I'm not getting ready to have herpes because of you.
You better go back where you better go back to where you just were.
Clearly you had a place to lay. Now, if it was temporary or permanent, that's between you and that person. Don't bring your ass back over here because it's expired over here.
That is expired.
That's hilarious. Look, I agree with Brittany. I don't think she said anything correct. Personally, I don't believe that men are hardwired to cheat. I genuinely believe that we're all human beings. We all have desires. I personally feel like sex in a relationship is just as biologically necessary as food and water and every fucking thing else. Not just in a relationship, but in general, as a human. Intimacy, touch, like kind of all of that is just a necessity. So I don't think men are hardwired to cheat. I don't think monogamy is natural. So I think it's choice. And I think it's a choice that you make consciously because we are humans and we have complex emotions and we want to respect our partners, or we don't want to hurt our partners, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like physically, you can be attracted to multiple people, and whether you act on that or not that's your choice. I'm not saying cheating should be normal or that it's good, but I think that it's natural across the board, regardless of gender. It's a shitty person thing to do because you're hurting someone that you care about. Supposedly, you clearly don't that much, or you're more selfish than not. But yeah, I think especially when it comes to like physically actually cheating on someone, I think that, it's not a good thing to do, but I don't think it's an unnatural thing to do. And I don't think it's, gender specific. You have something to say?
I just want to know how long her longest relationship was. If she was talking to her ass like that, I want to know how many men cheated on her and she stayed, and then how long it took her to leave.
All of them. And all of them said she was
what made her leave at that point, right? Like,
right, because what to me, other than messing with kids or some crazy off the wall shit. What else?
Kenneth?
Huh?
So why are you calling out Kenneth?
But I'm saying, like, what else is there to make you leave if you ain't leaving when somebody cheat on you?
I think at that point it's more of a financial thing. She's one of those that will divorce over money.
Yeah, over money. But I also feel like that to me is not really a relationship. I don't believe that the person is really in it. If you are only in it for the money and what that person can do for you, not really in a relationship, no damn way. So did he really cheat, or did she really cheat?
Yeah.
I think when people talk like that sometimes, they haven't really been cheated on, and they just feel some kind of way because they hear all their friends talk about how they got cheated on and that they stayed with them. That's not necessarily saying that she's been cheated on either and that she stayed.
Excuse me. No, that's true. She doesn't necessarily have to be speaking out of experience. But I know that I've seen a lot of recently. I've seen Glorilla talking about how all niggas cheat. So
no, all niggas cheat.
Exactly. Like
she got money. She gonna stay. They gonna cheat.
Yeah, her niggas cheat. Not all niggas. Her niggas.
Maybe she doesn't stay. Maybe it's just been her experience. And like I said, genuinely feel like, and you know, in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong, I genuinely feel like everyone has had a run-in with cheating, whether they're the offender or the recipient.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a run-in. I will be the first to say that prior to meeting Jamal, like I said, I didn't believe in monogamy, which does make me a shitty person because I also was not polyamorous. I was in monogamous relationships, but I was a habitual cheater. As a Gemini, naturally, I get bored in certain
Hey,
situations.
they say we get bored as hell, and it's true. It's true.
I'm not being, fed properly in all different aspects, whether it's in emotionally, intelligently, spiritually, whatever it is, right? Luckily, I met my match, which I didn't think was possible either, but that's neither here nor there. I get bored, and as opposed to leaving the relationship, I'm also very non-confrontational. It's a terrible mix. As opposed to leaving the relationship, I would go entertain myself elsewhere. Essentially, was not emotional though. It was really purely like the excitement of something different, but it wasn't a connection I had with that person. Not every time, excuse me. I will say that I have had affairs that did encompass both emotion and sex, but for the most part, it was strictly a physical thing. One night, maybe more. Really depends. Like when I say reformed hoe into a housewife, it's my two completely different people. I put myself all the way out there.
I'll say in high school, I was the type, hey, listen, do I really have a boyfriend? Not really. He say he my man. I don't say that. As I, got into my adult years, I was cheated on. I had a real serious relationship before this, two before this one. But the first one, he was a hoe. Like, I mean, just any and everything. He showed me what I was doing to other niggas. I was like, damn, that hurt. But my ex-wife, I mean, I did him dirty. I did him dirty. I'm not happy about or proud of myself for what I did, but I did him dirty. Like I ain't have to do him like that.
I feel that. I ditto.
Well, I was cheated on in my first and only marriage right now, which is why I left. And it was probably like the worst thing because he had a child. I took in that child, loved that child, but then he went and cheated with my sister's best friend.
Oh, I thought that was going somewhere else. Okay.
Well, see, I wouldn't see. Okay, I would have been even more pissed because if it was my sister, because we twins and we look alike. This is bullshit, okay? But I'm lucky it was the best friend. I don't care what space we in. Don't cheat on me. Just like both Britneys, I am a Gemini. I don't cheat. I just get revenge. And the revenge is way worse than probably me cheating. Not gonna.
Yeah, my revenge for my first serious relationship as an adult was how I got with my ex-husband. well, ex-wife. That's bullshit. It was his friend. So my revenge was, I'm gonna go, mess with your friend. So we might not be together. You gonna have to see me. When you hang out with your friend, you gonna have to see me.
Hear about me.
Right. But it went too far. It really did. The relationship should not have gotten to marriage. I will be the first one to admit that. We shouldn't have gotten married. It was my pride, people telling me I shouldn't do it. And just like a Gemini, don't tell me what to do. Don't do that. Because I'm going to do the opposite. And I did the opposite.
I feel. Yeah, I've been cheated on in one relationship. And I cheated back. Like when I was ready to leave that particular relationship, he broke his leg. And then I was like, you can't do shit for yourself. Like, I guess I'll stay around.
Oh, peace out. No, you didn't peace out.
That should have been your ticket out. Absolutely not.
However, I was unfaithful for the rest of the time I stayed. He ultimately broke up with me because he caught me smoking, and freaked out. And it was like, what if someone saw you outside smoking weed and you came back and they knew where we lived and I lost custody of my son? I was like, or what if you just found the pipe on the table? Because that's what happened. But that's neither here nor there. That's how that relationship ended up actually ending.
If smoking weed, not selling it, smoking weed gets your child taken, there's a lot more to that story.
But I let it be because I was already over it. Like, I feel like that's what really happens is like the relationship is over and I just don't leave. And then once that emotional disconnect is there, I'm a free person. I'm free.
Yeah.
Like, in my head, I can do whatever I want.
Do whatever the hell I want to. That's ultimately how my last relationship was. It was like I wasn't emotionally connected to him. I did not care. I did not worry about him anymore. I felt like I was single. I just had paperwork. Somebody just had paperwork on me. And once I feel like that, once I no longer care, I'm no longer arguing with you, I'm no longer caring to be in your presence, I won't call you, I won't text you, I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. You might as well chop that up. Cause I'm done. Like I'm done. And I might as well be a well done steak because it's gonna be rubber trying to get through my ass again. Cause it's not me.
That's hilarious.
Pick that bitch up and try to bite it if you want to. I am gonna be chewing and never get back through. I'm telling you, I am the worst. Once I disconnect, I'm done. And that's with any relationship. That's not just romantic.
Yeah, me too.
And I won't give you a warning either. You'll wake up and it'll be like, oh.
I had a relationship before Mikey, and he felt like I cheated on him with Mikey, which was never the case because once you stop talking to me and stop communicating with me, we are not together. And I sent you a message that says we are not together because you can't communicate with me. You're not talking to me. You're not visiting me. You're not doing any of these things. Knowing the situation that I was in at the time, you didn't do anything. And then once I move on and I'm happy and then I move to a whole different state, then you're like, oh, well, where did you go? I was trying to work on our communication. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
And then it keeps bringing up the fact that, well, I felt like you cheated on me. I didn't cheat on you. I told you point blank, I was done.
Also, at this point, this is irrelevant. Why are we having this conversation?
Yeah, I'm done. I don't see why we're talking.
Like, why are we having this conversation?
What are we doing?
I also, one of the mottos that I kind of always live by that like used to, or maybe even still does, like annoy my husband, is that you're single till you're married. And I lived by that. Like, and I'm, like I said, not excusing the people that I've hurt, the feelings that I've hurt in the past. Like it's not, like I said, I probably should have lived a life of polyamory. That probably would have been my best bet, but I didn't go that route. I was in serial monogamous relationship. I feel like the longest I've ever been single is like 3 months tops. So like I was consistently in relationships and consistently cheating. Not like from day one, but at some point
it went down
something happened. Yeah. So, but I also feel like that's what dating is, right? It's you figuring out who is for you and who's not for you. There's much better ways to go about doing that. However, until you commit to somebody, to, you know, your person, I don't.
Show me a reason why. I love the line. I know she's talking about sex or whatever, but Jasmine Sullivan, you know, her song On It. She's like, show me why you deserve it. That's me. Show me why I should settle down and cut everybody off for you. Because if you can't give me a reason, if you can't tell me why, I'm only here for the fun. And once the ride is over, the ride is over.
Okay. It's just for whatever reason, I don't take my seatbelt off. I just
keep going.
I mean,
in the meantime, in between stops, I grab cotton candy and get back on.
Grab a little drink here and there.
Well, sip because I'm parched.
Yeah. Like mine wasn't, I was single until I married. Mine was we're together, which was probably way worse. We're together when we're together. We're not when we're not. Now, a lot of people ask me, what does that mean? That means if we are physically on a date or we are physically around each other, we are together in my eyes. That means he my man, mwah, love you, babe, whatever. But once I no longer see you, that means I go into another room. I go
another room
to another building. I can flirt with whoever I want to because we're not together.
Another room.
So if you,
I think it's just our personalities at this point. Because
but if you wanted me to be committed to you at this party or at this moment, you might want to stick beside me at all times. I am a flirt. I love flirting. Flirting was it used to be a huge, let me say that because, Lord, it used to be a game to me to see how many people I could flirt with in a room. That was just me. Didn't necessarily have to take you home. Didn't necessarily have to kiss on you, stuff like that. You can talk, a guy can talk to me and I might start flirting and not even know it. I've been told, hey, why are you flirting with him? I'm not flirting. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Didn't know. Okay, my bad. But it's fun. I think it's fun.
Yeah. Like, I know there's like a lot of people who don't believe in like astrology and horoscopes, but I do think that's a Gemini like trait.
It's a Gemini thing.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Like, I didn't mean.
Well, that goes back to. Well, if anybody was watching the Royal Rumble watch party, that goes back to all of that. like I knew what I was doing, but it was also like, I mean, what am I gonna do?
I
You're
let you
online.
do
I'm
you.
here.
I let you do you.
That's how pretty.
Notice how it took my husband to say something for anything to have been said. I sat here.
It just texted me.
Okay,
No,
so if we talking about like friends flirting, friends cheating, things like that, I am not the friend that is gonna stop you if we're not that close. Now, if we're close and I know that you got a good thing, I might say, hey, you got a man. Let's not do this. However, I am the one that, nah, she was with me the whole time. I don't know what you talking about. I mean, if you let me know ahead of time, let me know.
Yeah.
Brittany gonna be like, I came to visit. Yeah, I was here visiting
I was there. There's no way she was hopping on dick. I was there.
No, facts, because that was one of the last arguments that my baby mama and I had before ultimately like breaking up. Is it was my birthday and I'm always the designated drunk driver of my friends. So
Okay.
always the DDD.
The drunk driver.
The designated drunk driver of all my friends. And so, when you have like 2 or 3 different people to take home after a night of being out, you ain't getting in till super late. So I'm driving. He's blowing up my phone. One of my friends answered and he's like, put Brittany on the phone. They're like, she's driving. Like, I gotta focus. And he whatever. So I end up dropping everyone off. We got some food. I didn't get in till like 6:00 in the morning. Like, that's life. You leave the club at 2, you go get some food to sober up, and then
you gotta get more food.
I gotta get everybody home. And then when I got there, he had asked me, he was like, so if you were out cheating on me, would your friends cover for you? And I was like, well, they wouldn't be my friends if they didn't.
If they didn't.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. That's not what I was doing. However, if you want the correct answer to that statement, they would not be, at least from that day forward, they would no longer be my friend.
We made it a rule that Richard would not ask my sister because she gonna cover, and I will never ask his best friend because he gonna cover. I don't give a damn if he is telling me the truth. I will never believe his best friend, and his best friend knows that. And my sister, she's like, I love Richard. I love this. I love that about him. However, you are my person. So he would just have to deal with that. And she didn't just say it to me. She said it near him. Hey, at least I know who to call.
I mean, right. So the fact of the matter is, in my mind, how you met that person that's where the loyalty lies. Like, whether you think y'all have become friends or not, the loyalty lies in who knew who first.
I learned the whole, you can't trust, especially family and shit like that, from my first relationship. I was like living in his mom's house. I had an apartment. He ended up getting us kicked out because he was too, like, his friends, they would come over. Nigga was a bum. I don't know why I was attracted to bums, but I was. But they would come, they was too loud, got us kicked out. We ended up living with his mama. He went into the military. She knew he had a girlfriend, had this girlfriend for months. And I didn't know. And when I found out, I was like, he was already good and gone. And when I found out, I was like, hey, need to talk to you. She was like, oh yeah, I was gonna tell you, just go ahead and move home, because I'm like, bitch, the fuck. I was like, you stinking booty bitch. Just couldn't get past it, man. But she knew, most of his family knew. And I just was like, this is crazy.
Bitch.
Yeah, I was like, I will never again trust anyone's family or friends ever again, because that one, I was like, I was living in your house. In your fucking house. This is crazy. He was trying to went on his going away party. He was trying to get me to go somewhere else. And so the girlfriend could come. The new girlfriend could come. Then he ended up going to his boy's house, saying he was going to his boy's house. And he left and went and spent the night with the girl. Here I am at home, quote unquote. And this nigga at a hotel with this bitch. I'm like, this is some fucked up shit.
Yeah,
like, y'all some whole hoes in this hoe. Like, y'all could have gave me a heads up or something.
A little nudge.
Something. Hey, Brittany. Hey.
Slide me a note real quick. Run.
Run. Hey, I'm gonna kick you out my house. Something. Yeah.
30-day notice.
He had been gone for 2 weeks when she finally was like, oh yeah, I was gonna tell you. Bitch, fuck you and him.
Disrespectfully.
Completely died today. Both of you with a sick dick.
That's fucking hilarious. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna. Asia, did you have anything to say? Because I'm gonna take the time to play the next clip, and then we can chat about that. Yeah, let me do that.
Could you ever cheat on me?
Absolutely. That's why I don't make dumb decisions like talking to guys one-on-one or hanging out in like compromising situations, because I'm a human being, you're a human being, and I'm sorry, babe, I don't know if this is hard for you to hear, but everybody is absolutely capable of infidelity in the right/wrong circumstances.
Oh, okay.
That's why boundaries are so important. You're never going to see me in a situation, even if people think I might be too strict, I don't care, because I'm not taking that chance.
Amen.
I'm not putting myself in a position to even be close to a position to potentially fall to temptation. I'm going to keep it 100, because anyone is capable of cheating, but I will not be cheating on you.
Excellent. I love that.
I love you.
She said, yes.
She said, yes, in the right circumstances. Absolutely.
That one, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it's like the two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I also agree with that one wholeheartedly. I do feel like that's what I mean by you make the choice to be monogamous. You make the choice to respect your partner and to not put yourself in situations in which you will be tempted to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter who you're with, there will always be someone who has more money or looks better or has a better body. It's like there's always going to be some aspect of temptation that can be presented. That, and I hate blaming everything on alcohol or whatever the case may be. Shit, you might be sober and just y'all had an argument and you in your heart. But like there's, in the right situation with the right mix of shit, something could go down. But like she said, I put those boundaries in place so that I will not ever be in those types of situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never put myself in those types of situations. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. And that's what I mean by like anyone. Like, I don't think men are hardwired. I think, honestly, I think the better cheaters are women either way.
Oh, we are. We are some sneaky bitches. We are. Like, I believe that 100%. Like, my husband, his ex knew that we were messing around. My ex-wife, he ain't no shit. When I told him I was pregnant, he was like, "Oh my God, you're pregnant?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "By who?" And I told him. I was 100% honest. At this point, shit, nigga, what am I hiding for? I'm pregnant. I'm gonna be gone and come back pregnant, and you ain't touched me. So when I told him, he was like, "Damn, I thought it was gonna be your sergeant." I was like, "Oh, I'm glad you said that. By the way, it's my sergeant."
That's hilarious.
So, so yeah, I was amazing at it.
I was amazing at it.
I took it as a challenge.
You were amazing at it till you came back pregnant.
I mean, okay, so I believe that I did that on purpose. I believe that I did that on purpose. However, other than that, I was just like, you know what? I don't. At that point, when I did get pregnant, I was like, I don't want him anyway. I had already planned to divorce him. I had already put everything in place so that when I got to the States, it would be done. So getting pregnant was just like the icing on the cake. I believe that I have to completely tear the relationship apart so that I'm not able to go back. That's how I end shit. I will burn a bridge. I mean, set that bitch on fire.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever thought about it that way, but that's definitely what my behavior is. So that makes a lot of sense. Like, that actual thought has never crossed my mind, but that is right on point with the way I act. So
if I'm her, she's right. I mean, if I'm put in the circumstance of I'm gonna cheat on you, then I'm probably gonna do it. I'm more than likely gonna do it.
Oh, it's
but if I'm happy, but if I'm happy and you're providing, you're doing all the things, and we're doing all the things as a couple that we need to do to stay happy, I don't see a need to cheat. Right. Yes, I'm a flirt, but I ain't gonna cheat on you. I ain't dumb.
I'm not looking for anything. Like,
no. But because I'm coming home to who I'm coming home to. I'm not going to sit down and lay down with nobody else and then bring him something, and then it's like, well, where the fuck did you get that from?
Right. Yeah.
Now I will say that most of the time when you're not actively looking, that's when shit happens. Yeah. When you look for it and you're trying to do something crazy, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But when you're not actively looking,
niggas be coming out the woodworks when you're not looking.
Yeah, because I mean that was a lot. I just lucked up on the one that I got. But it's like, for me, I will say that I work hard not to flirt. I know that that's something that my husband hates. So for me, I will give a dry tone to anybody, especially males, so that it does not seem as if I'm flirting. So that if we're standing somewhere, he doesn't say, "Oh shit, she flirting again." Because it's like, I remember people used to bring me candy. I mean, I was big, fat, and round, pregnant. They would bring me candy. And he's like, "It's because you flirt with them all the time." I don't flirt with people. He's like, "Yeah, you do. You flirt." I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry. My bad." But it was something he hated. So I was like, okay, so I have to actively not flirt. I have to make sure it is a job for me not to sound as if I'm flirting with people.
I don't know how to do that.
I know.
I don't know how to do that.
You gotta be in tune with your key player. You gotta be in tune.
I don't know how to do. I don't know. Like I have the way I talk, and then I just have the way I talk. So I don't change it for anyone. If you feel like I'm flirting, then I'm sorry.
I'm kind of the same way. I use a lot of pet names for people. That's just who I am. It's babe this, or maybe not so much babe, but like honey, pumpkin. Like I use a lot of pet names, mainly because I probably don't know your actual name. Hey, love, can you do this for me? Hey, can you?
I can know you for 5 years and not know your name.
It's not the first thing that comes to mind. And I know that that's bothered, people in the past, like relationships I've had in the past. I don't think it bothers Jamal. He hasn't said it does, but it's been 6 years. I feel like at this point, keep that shit to yourself.
I mean, but at that point, you know his name.
Yeah. Well, his name,
he knows
other people. Like when especially, at work type of situation, because I usually manage people, men, women, whatever. And it's, hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do that for me? But it's love. It's like, hey, can you, whatever it is. I feel like that could be misconstrued in certain situations. I do think, I don't know. I mean, they say that we're natural flirts. Like it just,
I don't use.
I've looked at someone with no thoughts in my head, staring off, and they've come up to me as if I was like eyeing them down to fuck. So like,
because I disassociate so fast with the littlest things. I will disassociate, and then they'll be like, "Do you want something from me?" And I'm like,
"No,
sir, I was disassociated." I was like, I disassociated. I didn't even know you was standing there. No, I don't want anything. Like my job, what my job consists of is it consists of me working on like people's faces and shade matching and stuff like that. I work in makeup. So I had this one girl, she got like super upset because she thought I was staring at her man. I said, "Girl, I was putting this foundation on your face," and I disassociated. I forgot that I was even working. I was like, I forgot that I was even working on your face just now. And she was like, "Oh, because I thought you were staring at my man." I said, "Girl, I don't want that man.
Nobody wants your man. You barely want him."
I'm like, I'm pretty sure he wants somebody
else.
That
is one thing I will never, right? I'm not a home wrecker unless it's my own. I've only wrecked my own. But I've never been with someone who was in a relationship.
I can say this.
But he was mine first. Actually, I'll take that back. It happened once, but he was mine first. Okay.
I can say this, and I feel like this about cheating, period. Right? I can't wreck shit if it wasn't already wrecked. If the door wasn't open for me. I cannot come into your house because for me, no man right now can say, "Hey, I want to fuck you." And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no.
And then you say, "Well, he's the home wrecker." No, he's not. He didn't wreck anything. I allowed it. So to me, I will, my situation was crazy. But I won't say that my husband wrecked my home when I was married because it wasn't nothing there. I allowed it. I allowed him to come in. I opened the door as wide as that bitch could open. And I let him in. And so many doors.
All the doors, the windows.
I had windows. I took the roof off that bitch. Okay. So I would not say that I believe, because like I hear people always talking about, Alicia Keys is a home wrecker. Y'all so pissed off at Alicia Keys. Swiss Beats was the woman that was married. She was single. We don't know the whole story. We just know he was married. But why do you have so much anger and animosity towards her? She can't come into nothing because if
that wasn't already broken.
Yeah, if you're happy, then he would have said, nah, I'm good. But they weren't happy. He allowed that. So home wrecking, I don't believe in that.
That's right.
At least not for the side chick. It's the person that's in the relationship.
There's a show coming out, and it's called The Real Side Chicks of Miami. I just have so many questions because I watched the trailer recently, and I nearly hopped out my seat because I was like, "Pause! We're making a show of side chicks now of famous and rich people. So now you're putting yourselves out there saying that you're this person's side chick, and you're happy about it."
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna be honest. I was. I'm fine with moving from side to main. I'm fine with that. However, a lot of side chicks have a lot of benefits. I don't have to deal with your shit. That's your wife's business. I don't have to worry about your finances. I don't have to do any of this. So being happy about it, I get the dick, and that's it. I don't have the headache. I don't have the bills. I get gifts. I don't care if it comes on the 15th, February 15th. I got it.
I want my shit on the 13th. Fuck you, man.
Fuck that. I want it on the 13th too.
Let me know you're thinking about me.
But you got all of this going on. So I can see why they happy to be side chicks. I get the benefits of everything this wife over here is getting, but I don't have the headache. I don't have to worry about is you cheating on me.
You go celebrate Valentine's Day on the 13th or the 15th. There you go.
Hey, it's a day. It's a day.
And that, yeah, you usually have more transparency in those relationships as well.
Yeah.
Like you are more aware of what's going on than the wife. So I get the premise of the show, much like Brittany said. I don't think I'd ever put my fucking self out there like that in reality.
Ain't gonna do it
the funny part is it's supposed to be like a spinoff to Basketball Wives.
Yeah, because
so it's
side bitches.
This podcast is as far as I put myself out there. Okay.
And I talked to my husband before I say any of this shit.
I am not a side bitch. I'm not a side bitch to anyone. I don't care. That's my main. He will be my main until we decide that we are not together anymore.
Yeah.
I am not a side to anyone. And if some bitch come knocking on the door and say, well, I'm his girlfriend, I will punch you in the face and be like, but we live together. Absolutely not.
I'm the type, and I've done this before. I was walking in the mall with this dude. The girl came up. She said, hey, I'm his girlfriend. I said, whew, that's crazy. I said, so who you want? You want me or you want her? And he looked both ways. I said, okay, I'll make it easier for you. And I just walked off. Nigga, you ain't got the car. I do.
Not the car.
I don't understand what we're doing here. But no, I tell people that, of course, if you hear how everything went down with me and my husband, you would say, oh, y'all were each other's side pieces. You hear that. However, if you lived like our friends and everybody who's seen what was going on, they will say y'all were not each other's side pieces. Y'all were just in situations that you couldn't get out of to.
You were in a situationship.
Yeah, you couldn't connect the way that y'all needed to. And there was no way to end it until you got back to where you could do it. I'm not going to say that, everybody agrees with that, but, it is what it is.
Not all parties agree.
not and it's normally the other two that don't agree with that.
This episode it reminds me of this current season. I don't know. Have y'all seen the show Smothered?
Yes, but I'm not on the current season. I'm currently.
Well, I'm gonna spoil just a little bit for you.
That's
because
okay.
even if you so there's this couple on there named Delisa and Trevor. Trevor is really close with his mother-in-law.
Wait, is it Delisa and Trevor from The Circle?
Maybe.
Oh, wait.
I think so. Maybe.
I was gonna say, because those are like two very specific names of someone.
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe.
Okay.
But Trevor invited his mother-in-law to come stay. Now, let me remind you, they dress alike. They feed each other.
Mother-in-law?
Yeah.
Her mother?
Yeah, her mother.
I've seen
they are doing all of the couple things. And so I can see why Delisa's upset. Now, in this current episode,
that's definitely Delisa and Trevor from
The Circle. Okay, so this current episode, Trevor took his mother-in-law out to go get dinner to tell her she had to get the fuck out. She stormed off when he told her that, and she left him. And he was like, "Well, let me call her behind." Trevor, we know you fucking your mother-in-law.
I mean, I don't watch the show, but you know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's fucking the hell out of her. Because I mean, it's just some stuff. And I'm sorry, but both of them will have to die. Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
You're not getting ready to embarrass me like that. Not my mama. I will let my sister take my man before I let my mama take him. We're not doing that.
He feeds her. They dress alike. They do all of the couple things that him and Delisa don't get a chance to do. And you trying to tell me y'all not fucking? Boy, you lying. Fuck up my face with that.
That's weird. I couldn't imagine, because it's not even your own mother.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? Yeah.
It's very cringy just watching it on Facebook.
Even if you go, I was gonna say, Brittany, even if you just like search Delisa and Trevor on TikTok, it'll show you all of their smothered like things that people have like recorded.
I'm watching it. Like that's what I watch on my
on your downtime.
My commutes in my downtime. Like that's the show that I download and go. So I'll get there. Trust. No worries. Give me a couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
Yes, because I'm starting at season 1. How many? There's like a bunch of seasons. I'm on season 2 now, but
you can start at any season because they are not connected.
What platform?
Some of them are. There's people that carry over. I like to binge watch my shows from the beginning, so whatever. But yeah. Well, this conversation is really interesting. I actually had like written down questions, but I feel like we've gone an hour just talking about life experience.
What were some of your questions?
We got a little bit of time.
No, the only question that I really I was going to ask, how do you personally define cheating? Because I know we've talked a lot about physical cheating. That's really all we've talked about this episode. But where do you draw the line at?
Anything that you cannot tell your spouse about is cheating. To me, even if you're not sexually entertaining this person, if you have a emotional connection with them, and you cannot tell your partner, I feel like that's cheating. It's one thing to say I have a friend, like, you know, I got a male friend, my husband knows about him. I can talk to him when I can't talk to my husband because he might understand me a little bit better because he's known me longer. But I can take that conversation back and say, hey, I talked to my friend about us, about this, and this. This is what he's telling me. Is this, something that you can agree or disagree about? However, I feel like if I'm talking to this guy and I cannot tell my husband, then I'm cheating on him because now I have an emotional connection with someone else. And then everybody know that you can't fall on a dick or into some pussy. We know that. Once you do that, that is also cheating.
Asia?
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off what Brittany said, it's like the whole phone situation. If your partner doesn't have your pin code or like your finger thing, even if y'all don't do that, like Mikey doesn't go through anything, but his fingerprint is still on my phone. He knows the passcode, things like that. If you ever want to do, I'm not going to stop you because there's nothing in my phone that I need to hide. You know everybody, and if you don't, just ask, and I'll tell you who they are. Because if anybody's seen my phone is full of like emojis. So if I call somebody, if I call Brittany is just full of emojis, but I know it's Brittany by the certain emojis.
That's hilarious. I'm curious. What are my emojis?
Yeah,
inquiring minds must know.
Or like, but me and Mikey
middle finger, Gemini symbol.
What is it?
It's a bunch of hearts. The Gemini symbol, a bunch of middle fingers.
Yeah. See, that sounds about right.
I called it. That's hilarious. So yeah, I absolutely do agree with you guys, but I also feel like that my definition has evolved with my maturity, and mainly with like my marriage. I think whilst knowing that keeping something from your partner is wrong, I don't think I ever labeled that as cheating. Based off of my history and things that I have done, I drew the hard line at cheating, at physically doing something I shouldn't be doing, whether it's even if it's just like going out with someone or whatever the case may be. My line originally was drawn at or making plans to do something, was drawn there. Now, since being married and taking into account my husband's feelings and life experiences and all of that, I first of all think cheating is something that you and your partner should talk about at the beginning of your relationship, and define what that means to each of you. But since then, I can wholeheartedly agree that it's literally anything that can't be shared, or you feel like you cannot share with your partner. At one point in time, I had entertained a reminiscent conversation with someone that I had relations with in the past. Was not planning on a future, it was just kind of like, those were good times, whatever. It is a message that my husband did see, and it caused a lot of issues in our relationship at the time. But when he kept saying, you cheated, in my head, I was like, no, I didn't. Like, I didn't cheat. And that's because in the past, cheating to me was, you're asleep, I left the house, I had sex with somebody else, I came back, laid down next to your ass, or I had a whole ass side nigga relationship while you were at work. I'm on dates, I'm at his house, I'm here. Like, my behavior was so chaotic and so disrespectful, to go back to the video, like that it didn't feel like it was the same thing. But like seeing how that hurt him and like affected him in such a deep way, I would never do that again or anything like that again at that point. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, all right, lesson fucking learned. And since then, I've just been a fucking angel, fucking housewife. But it's something that I've had to learn. And it's because of like I said, because of my behavior and the way that I have handled my past relationships. Getting married, first of all, from a probably not so healed place as I should have been before being married, it's been a learning curve. Like, But 6 years later, I'm there. We on the same page. Like, it didn't take 6 years, but that's where we are now. And I understand and I respect it. So, yeah. That's how I feel about that.
I ain't got nobody to reminisce with.
I believe it's the right person too. The right person will settle you down.
The right person will settle you.
Will settle you down. I believe that I didn't respect a lot of people. I did not care about a lot of people. A lot of it was just we're in a relationship. It is what it is. But I do believe that with this marriage, I'm like, okay, I want to actually get to know your cliques. I want to get to know what it is that
pisses you off, or what makes you flare up, what makes you do these things, so that I don't do them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that now I will not purposely do anything anymore. However, when I see it, I'm like, okay, I won't do that again.
Right.
I realized, like, riding in a car with my then sergeant, he wasn't around. He's like, hey, I don't like that shit. You need to find your female sergeant. Cool. I do that. You don't want to disrespect the person that you truly love.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I say that to Jamal, we say that to each other all the time. Like, I thought I knew what love was. I thought I had been in love until I met you. And I realized that first of all, most of those weren't healthy relationships. And second of all, it literally does not, it just was not the same. It's not the same chemical balance. It's not the same, like, any of that. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, astrology wise, Geminis and Tauruses do not go along. But
yes, I don't either. But somehow I hook up with a lot of Cancers. Like, yeah. I mean, relationships, friendships with my husband. I'm like, where do y'all Cancers come from? Good God, y'all sensitive asses.
But they're the complete opposite of you, right? You're a non-emotional person and you're very emotional. I'm a very flighty, free-spirited person, and he's a very grounded, like, person. And
they know what they want. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was
like Mikey's a Leo, I think. Mm-hmm. He's a Leo, and I'm a Gemini. I'm just sitting here like, sir, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Please. And then, like, with Jamal, it's like, well, you said this 4 years ago, so I went with it. And I'm like, 4 years ago? Well, that's not how I feel anymore. Like, but for him, he's so steadfast in, his beliefs and this and that, like, that's who he is. Like, it takes a lot to change that mindset or change anything. Mm-hmm. Not that he's hard-headed, like, he listens, but it takes a lot to shake him from to shake him from what he stands on. Mm-hmm. Not me. The wind can blow this way. Oh, that sounds good. like
my best
logical thing.
My best friend calls me every day. It's just like, with a new scheme, she knew something. It's just like, I'm glad. One day I was like, I'm glad it's always we. She said, because you're always down to do everything.
Facts.
I want to know everything. I'm like, see it. I'm like,
I know. I have FOMO. I feel like, I have FOMO. So I feel like I'm missing out on something. If my best friend is out doing something, but you tell me you're out doing something, I have FOMO. That's like my work best friend. She was in Georgia for a week. She called me every day, but I felt like I had FOMO because I was like, but you're in Georgia. You left me in fucking Virginia.
Yeah.
Nah, not me.
You left me in Virginia.
You can leave me anywhere. Hey, you want to go somewhere? Sure. Hey, we're not going. Okay, fine. That's wow, thank you.
That's
no, total leave me out.
Well, ladies, that was a solid conversation. Yeah. I don't know what we're talking about next week. We have a couple different things on the pop up with something good, I promise. But make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe on all major platforms for more conversations like this. Any comments you guys have, drop them, and we'll address them in the next episode. Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see where we go.
We'll at least respond. We'll at least respond. But we'll see how my technology is technologying, you know? But until next time, guys, we out. Peace.